Watch this. Let me know what you think, if you've heard this information before.
When you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party comes to mind? The Republicans or the Democrats? Most people would probably say the Democrats, but this answer is incorrect. Since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 1960s. In contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission was to stop the spread of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely. This effort, however, was dealt a major blow by the Supreme Court in the 1857 case Dred Scott versus Sandford. The court ruled that slaves aren't citizens, they're property. The 7 justices who voted in favor of slavery, all Democrats. The 2 justices who dissented, both Republicans. The slavery question was, of course, ultimately resolved by a bloody civil war. The commander-in-chief during that war was the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves. 6 days after the Confederate Army surrendered, John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat, assassinated President Lincoln. Lincoln's vice president, a Democrat named Andrew Johnson, assumed the presidency. But Johnson adamantly opposed Lincoln's plan to integrate the newly freed slaves into the South's economic and social order. Johnson and the Democratic Party were unified in their opposition to the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, the 14th Amendment, which gave blacks citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, which gave blacks the vote. All 3 passed only because of universal Republican support. During the era of Reconstruction, federal troops stationed in the South helped secure rights for the newly freed slaves. Hundreds of black men were elected to Southern state legislatures as Republicans, and 22 black Republicans served in the U.S. Congress by 1900.
Some good stuff.
The Democrats did not elect a black man to Congress until 1935. But after Reconstruction ended, when the federal troops went home, Democrats roared back into power in the South. They quickly reestablished white supremacy across the region with measures like black codes, laws that restricted the ability of blacks to own property and run businesses, and they imposed poll taxes and literacy tests used to subvert black citizens' right to vote. And how was all of this enforced? By terror, much of it instigated by the Ku Klux Klan, founded by a Democrat, Nathan Bedford Forrest. As historian Eric Foner, himself a Democrat, notes, in effect, the Klan was a military force serving the interests of the Democratic Party. President Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat, shared many views with the Klan. He resegregated many federal agencies and even screened the first movie ever played at the White House, the racist film, The Birth of a Nation, originally entitled The Klansman. A few decades later, the only serious congressional opposition to the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 came from Democrats. 80% of Republicans in Congress supported the bill, less than 70% of Democrats did. Democratic senators filibustered the bill for 75 days until Republicans mustered the few extra votes needed to break the logjam.
That was not that long ago. This is the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And so it got passed because of Republicans, because Democrats filibustered it and was against it.
And when all of their efforts to enslave blacks, keep them enslaved, and then keep them from voting had failed, the Democrats came up with a new strategy.
They were doing all in their power to keep black people enslaved and from voting and from having any rights in this country. Democrats.
If black people are going to vote, they might as well vote for Democrats, as President Lyndon Johnson was purported to have said about the Civil Rights Act. I'll have them voting Democrat for 200 years.
I have a copy of that. I made a copy and I keep it on purpose to remind me of what these nuts did.
So now, the Democratic Party prospers on the votes of the very people it has spent much of its history oppressing.
Look at any Democrat city, anyone where they rule, any one of them. Baltimore, look at it. LA, look at it. New York, look at it. Memphis, look at it. Everywhere they rule, everywhere they're in power and have been in power for decades. So you can't even blame the Republicans. This video is not even about the Republicans. This is just some information that we all need to share. We need to know this. We need to investigate this, y'all. We got an election coming up. We better pay attention to who we voting for. What are we doing?
Democrats falsely claim that the Republican Party is the villain, when in reality, it's the failed policies of the Democratic Party that have kept blacks down. Massive government welfare has decimated the black family. Opposition to school choice has kept them trapped in failing schools. Politically correct policing has left black neighborhoods defenseless against violent crime. So when you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party should come to mind? I'm Carol Swain, professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University for Prager University.
It's awesome. You have a choice, people, as to who you're going to choose in this particular election. Hopefully, this is some new information for you, for those that may not have seen it before. Here it is. You can make a choice. I got something on the other party as well. So I'm not going to just show you one side. I'm going to show you the other side as well. And I want you to take a look at that. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment in the comment section. And don't, hey, help a brother out. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Share this information with somebody else that needs to know this, that may not have known this information. This could put you on a trajectory and start looking at and start investigating these people. Don't just take what they say. We're in the information age. We can find out a whole lot more about this stuff, about either side. Just putting the information out there. And definitely hit that subscribe button. Like it, like it, like it. Share it, share it, share it. And hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Thanks for watching.